Yeah. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, dear. Um, your that the voting song was too good, but I missed to acknowledge it. But I'm acknowledging it publicly. When you feel that you just don't have to give a like, but you have to write 4 lines, then you miss on it. So I missed on it because I wanted to express my feeling that how good and how thoughtful it was.
Um, we've been awarded the second best in Delhi by the Rotary today. For
Oh,
that,
for that song?
yes, ma'am.
That's so good.
Thank you
And
so much.
where's your mark? Have you voted today?
No, ma'am, I'm not in Delhi.
Oh, okay,
Unfortunately,
okay,
traveling out because my son was back to Delhi. He stays in Goa. He is
okay.
an underwater research scientist. So he had come. So we've come out on a vacation actually. I'm presently in Himachal. We are at Jibi.
Oh, that's great. But thank you so much for attending the session.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's my pleasure.
I was telling Samarth ki Guljot is so active. Why don't you tie up with her and go to her school? She'll be more than happy to have you.
Most
Plan
welcome.
it out. Plan it out because the more we approach, the better it is. Wherever he can go, he should.
I'll
So
work out.
he was
It's
saying after vacation because schools have closed down. So you can
yes.
plan out in this
So
manner. It's
the
very
pleasure is mine, ma'am.
yeah.
I would work out.
Yeah. Samarth was saying that we are melting in Delhi. It's okay.
Yeah. That's why we've run out. We Dahlias are generally out.
Have I pronounced your name correctly, dear? From Fanlish. Somehow she's quiet. It's all right. Anybody wants to speak? See, we've got 5 minutes more. Samarth is also traveling. He was saying I'll be surely joining, and he would be part of the moderator's role. But somehow, 5 minutes to go. That's how it is. So, Guljot, your background is so real. It's not the one the way we put it up, and it's so good and nice and green, and that's
I
good.
turn around the camera and show, ma'am. Give me a
Yeah.
minute.
Okay, do show it.
You you all can enjoy a couple of minutes with the beautiful background. Give me a minute. Let me turn around my camera.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, Swati. Guljot is taking us for a round. She's
Oh,
turned a
wonderful.
camera and she's in Himachal, and I said it's a beautiful natural background. So she said, all right,
Wow.
all of you can enjoy it.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
It's a very beautiful valley, very peaceful and very serene.
That's good.
Himachal is always so beautiful.
It is.
True, ma'am.
No, but Swati, you went to that forest area with your friends, and we enjoyed seeing those pictures.
Yes,
That,
yes. That
that
was
was
like, that
equally
was close
beautiful.
by actually. That was close by, not very
Yeah.
far away. But it's always fun going out with friends. Even ordinary places become extraordinary.
Yes, yes, friends and
Swati
family.
ma'am's coming to Delhi. Paramjit ma'am, she's
Yes,
waiting for you. The moment you
yes,
come to
ma'am.
Delhi, coming to Delhi.
Okay, so
I
we'll be having the round table
round
somewhere
table.
in August there.
Wonderful. Because, ma'am, round table, if it's in Delhi, I'm not missing it by any chance. That's
Ma'am,
my
not
only
very
chance
late
to
in
miss all of
August,
you. I mean, to meet
because
all of
we
you.
then September we have our exams. A little early in August, please.
First week.
Yes,
All
Right,
right,
yes,
we'll
right,
that
plan
will be
it. We'll
great.
plan it out.
Yes,
right.
last week even we
All
have
right.
exams over here. Exactly. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we know that, the so-called big term one examinations.
No, ma'am, but
Ha,
you are there, so you will be having everything planned well ahead. We know everything will
Swati,
be planned
you
well.
should see the activities this time also. We have put our head, heart, soul, everything into it while planning.
And the quiet lady, Charu, ma'am. I don't know how she manages it with that smile always there. Never missing on that. For so many years, seeing that now, we are practically used to it now.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Lorraine is here. Lorraine, hello.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? I'm fine here.
I'm very well, thanks.
Okay, it's time to meet in US again. I'll be coming
Oh, great,
soon. Yeah, next month.
great.
I'll be in touch and let you know if how is it possible.
Yeah, that would be great. Great to see you.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. And Alvia Haider is there. Hi, she's a spotlight guest today. How are you,
Hello.
Alvia?
Good evening. I'm
Good
good.
evening. We're so happy to have you. Charu, you need to start this thing at 6 p.m. Let me check with Samat sir. Let me just call Samat sir. He says joining in 10 minutes. Okay, and 5 minutes have passed. Another five to go. So we wait for a minute or two, and then I think we can start talking. And the moment Samat sir joins, he will take it over, or Amandeep sir will move forward and a little backward as need be. Okay. So
Right,
who's
ma'am.
going to, please be watchful the moment Samat sir joins. We can. So all right, it's 6:01, and I think we need to start. Okay. I hope somebody is looking into the lobby, please. Okay. All right. So here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and my beloved educators. It's always a matter of pride, lots of satisfaction, lots of humility when all of us join together for this RiseUp4Peace education initiative, which is so close to our heart. I'm so happy in spite of the summer vacation which is going on in Indian schools. Still, we have a big number of educators who have joined as such. So thank you very much, my beloved educators, for joining this all important education initiative, Rise Up for Peace. This is Dialogue 6, and today is 25th of May 2024. Yes, please. We are looking forward and waiting for Mr. Samath Pathak to join. The moment he joins, I'm sure he'll take it up from here. We move on. And then coming, why Rise Up for Peace Education Initiative? And that's what our Honorable Mr. Samarth Pathak is going to talk about. We move on. Yeah, so this is Mrs. Dhillon here, principal here of Kamala Nehru Public School Administration and Innovation. And we are here together to bring a difference in this world where peace has taken a second place. Yes, please. Arushi, are you there, please? If yes, let us know about it.
I think she's waiting in the lobby.
Okay.
Hello. No, I'm here. Hi.
Yes, yes. Sir is there. Okay. So we're looking into it and we are admitting everybody. And Aman sir, we go back to Samar sir's slide and he takes it over from here. Good evening, Mr. Samarth. I believe you have joined in.
Hello and good evening to everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And the floor is all yours, Samarth, now. So we can start with you now.
Yes, I'm sorry that it took a bit of time. I'm on travel, but I cannot miss this wonderful forum. It is the essence of Rise Up for Peace. So I just couldn't, leave it. So I will be like off and on, but very glad to be here with all of you. So thank you once again for joining the Rise Up for Peace monthly dialogues. It is absolutely fantastic to have such a powerhouse of young educators, experienced educators getting together, sharing their ideas. As you know, since we have started in February, this has been going on from strength to strength. I'm very pleased to inform you that this month, in May 2024, we had spectacular attention and traction towards Rise Up for Peace coming from all quarters. This was a month where UNODC also launched its new regional program for South Asia. And the Rise Up for Peace had the pride of place, even at the launch, which was attended by government representatives, very senior UN diplomats, and all of them had only words of praise for Rise Up for Peace. We have had a spectacular series of activities, different activities and workshops that have taken place this month. Right from a fantastic Rise Up for Peace Fest organized by the Kamala Nehru Public School, Phagwara, some fantastic displays. We were there in person, and I have to tell you, every classroom was decked up with different themes, students working on different themes, coming up with different initiatives, skits, songs, panel discussions, posters around SDG 16 themes. So the Rise Up for Peace, the Rise Up for Peace Fest was an immense success in Phagwara. We had a senior government official there who took note with a lot of interest. And this fest also was the first educators roundtable that we conducted under this series. So as part of Rise Up for Peace, we are planning to do roundtable dialogues in different institutions where different educators come together and share their good practices, share their ideas, and gain some new knowledge. So this was the first roundtable dialogue in person held at the Kamala Nehru Public School, which resulted in a very important declaration by educators who committed themselves to the idea of education on SDG 16. Now, this Rise Up for Peace Fest was followed by a very interesting Arts for SDG 16 workshop, again in person, held at a prominent Indian school, another prominent Indian school, the Lawrence School, Sanar. And this was in Himachal Pradesh, another state. And we got together about 8 government schools, rural schools, and other schools from the state to come together and come up with art products around SDG 16, which included music, sculpture, paintings, and different sorts of creatives. So this was again a very interesting initiative because students came out with a declaration around why arts matter to promote SDG 16. Again, a very intensive group exercise, training of students and educators on how arts can be used, and then a showcase of these products. This was followed by another very important capacity building drive held at the Salvan group of schools in Delhi, with about 120 educators from the Salvan group of schools coming together and again, sharing good practices, gaining some insights around how SDG 16 can be mainstreamed in the classroom. Now, these are in-person activities, but besides that, as we know, a lot of virtual activities have taken place. We are so thrilled to keep featuring your work on different UNODC forums, from bookmarks to cranes to artwork to videos. And today, in fact, one song from the Army Public School Beas
Yes.
has been showcased. The one other thing, I'll be very quick to conclude, we also have a lot of web stories and news features coming out around the Rise Up for Peace programs. Just yesterday, we had, if you go to the UNODC main website, the global website, the Pride of Place is by Rise Up for Peace. You have different initiatives that are listed there from last month. And besides that, United Nations India, United Nations different forums, and in South Asia, you have a lot of news channels and news outlets who are increasingly covering our work. So there's a lot of potential to showcase great activities out there. A lot of government representatives are taking note. A lot of foreign missions, diplomatic missions are taking note. One very interesting exercise was actually international, thanks to Veronica, where we conducted a training, a sensitization with young people and educators in Uruguay. So that was a very interesting initiative, and we look forward to replicating some of this work in other schools and in partnership with all of you. So with this, may I request you to please mute?
Yes. Team KNPS, look into it and mute the person, mute all.
Yeah.
SK. This SK person is speaking.
Yeah, please mute. Okay. So I'll conclude with this, but I just want to also give you a glimpse that today we have two fantastic voices, again from India, youth voices, who will be talking about disability and inclusion. And all of this started again from an interaction we had a few weeks ago on what is inclusion. We can keep talking about inclusion, but until we bring in people, bring in voices who know the challenges, who have experienced it firsthand, um, we cannot really talk about these themes. So we are very pleased to have Arushi and Alvia from India, two youth activists, and two youth voices who are also UNODC resource people. I would say they are our youth experts, and they'll be talking about inclusion, disability. They have some interesting ideas that they would share with you. So with this, I'll conclude, and thank you once again for your support. We are really looking at scaling up this effort a lot more this month, and we count on your support. Thank you, and I hand over the stage to Paramjeet ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Samath, for your inputs. They are valuable ones, and you really cheer us up and you give a pat, and there we go, rising up once again for peace. Yes, moving on. So I take this opportunity to invite Arushi Gambhir, and she's pursuing Masters in Development Communications at AJK Mass Communication Research Center, Jamia Millia Islamia. Disability rights activist, a writer, and a speaker. Youth resource volunteer UNODC, co-authored several books and has written extensively on disability rights in magazines, e-blogs, the Swadli newspapers, e-blogs. Project lead, Viklang Shiksha headed a team of 75 volunteers, awarded the Youth Engagement Leader Award and the Excellence Strategy Award by Volunteer for India. Arushi, I hand it over to you. Please take over, unmute yourself, and please share your experience. We would like to hear you now.
Good evening. Ma'am, is there a chance I could get access to screen sharing because we have a PowerPoint presentation to share?
Okay, we'll look into it right away.
Sure. So first of all, let me start by extending my gratitude to Mr. Pathak and Ms. Dhillon for this opportunity. We are honored to be here. We're honored for this opportunity. And with that, I think okay, so I can share my screen now. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Great. So, yeah. Just a minute.
Take your time.
the need for inclusion in education. Now, I think the title of this presentation itself begs a fundamental question. Um, why does inclusion matter? Why are we having this conversation right now? Why does it matter? It matters because people with disabilities are have been sidelined as a community for decades now. They've been considered misfits in a world order that has a very stringent, a very strict definition of what it means to be quote unquote normal. This is largely due to two things. One is the social construction of disability, and the other issue is that of rampant ableism in society. Ableism is essentially the the ableism is essentially uh, the discrimination in favor of able-bodied individuals. This is a phenomena that also, sort of gives out a message that being able-bodied is the only way, is the only correct way to be, and that's how disability becomes a social construction, because ableism is a construction of society. Uh, Disability, the physical impairment is the physical problem. The impairment is a physical issue. When it interacts with society, that also is inaccessible, that does not actually cater to the needs of people with disabilities. That is when it becomes a social construction, because we are now focused more on actually rectifying the disability, which is more often than not incurable, than actually acknowledging the fact that the environment that we live in is not ready to cater to people with disabilities and their needs. These ideologies, this ableism is also finding its roots in the rampant, in the incorrect, rampant use of incorrect terminologies that we use. For example, terms like differently abled, terms like specially able. When we use these terms, we are indirectly signifying the fact that these needs are different from the norm. These people are different from the norm, and what is different from the norm is normally not considered, worthy enough of attention, and worthy enough to be included, and worthy enough to be given their rights and being heard. Ableist environments actually have a very huge impact on how students with disabilities actually navigate their school and college lives, because there is the social construct of ableism, the societal impact of how a student with disability is discriminated against in the school environment. Now, how does exclusion actually affect people with disabilities? What are the real stories, and how do students actually struggle with the discrimination that they face in school levels? I would now pass it on to my colleague, Miss Alvia Heather, um, to share her experiences and insights.
Good evening,
So,
everyone.
good evening. May I, Alvia, please introduce yourself with your slide, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo, no, that maybe we'll do it in the end, because otherwise you'll have to be out of it. All right, continue, Alvia. It's okay. I'll introduce you later on. Otherwise,
Okay.
we'll have to share the screen again and again. So
Sure. So when we talk about exclusion, we often talk about the big things. We talk about the infrastructure. We talk about the barriers, making infrastructure, making inclusive classrooms in terms of infrastructure. But we don't talk about issues which are minute in that sense. So I will share one of the instances in my school time where I felt socially excluded. So this was around in class 6 or 7. I really wanted to go into MUN, that was Model United Nations. So I approached my class teacher that, sir, I want to try my hands in public speaking and debating. And that's why I want to go in MUN. And he told me that he will let me know about it in a few days. And few days later on, when I approached him again, he told me that the school cannot allow me to go in UN because they would have to accommodate my needs, as I am a person with disability. I'm a wheelchair user. The school would the school finds it hard to send me to another school for MUN to actually allocate a separate person some resources to my needs. And that's where I felt that okay, like even if I had adequate skills, even if I was capable enough to speak at a public platform such as MUN. I was socially excluded from actually participating in such events. And I think that's also somehow makes me feel less of others. Like as compared to my peers, I felt that I was not capable enough to, actually participate and be in a group of people with able-bodied students. Over to you, Arush.
Yeah. So even back in my school, I belong to an institution that was accessible. Yes, definitely. Inclusive, maybe, maybe not. Because inclusion is just, a choice that is given to a student of being able to access the school, being able to access activities, being able to access peers and interacting and socializing with those peers. Throughout middle school and high school, 6 years of middle school and high school, in fact, I was only able to use the school canteen or the cafeteria once, just once, and not, and that too from only the outside, not the inside, because it wasn't. Well, it was accessible, but it had a ramp that could not be used. Again, it's an accessibility issue, sure, but it's also a social issue because you know. I was not even encouraged by peers or by teachers to be able to use that or to be able to sort of access and say, let's get this rectified and let's use it. That was one of the things. The other thing is that I was never even taken to any sort of picnics or the outings that schools usually take students with. So none of that. Even when I was ready to use a private vehicle of my own, then also I was asked to not be there because they were sort of skeptical of taking on the additional responsibility of taking along a student with disability. So that's one thing. Moving on, how can educators and teachers actually help students with disabilities? How can they actually play a part in creating an inclusive classroom? Over to you, Alvia.
So when we talk about creating inclusive classrooms, we often just focus on physical accessibility in classrooms, but we not focus on social inclusion of people with disabilities. Now, I think educators need to understand that this is also as equally important as creating physical accessibility for students with disability. Now, how can they include people with disabilities? I think students should be students with disabilities should be made a part of discussions in the class. They should not be othered. And people without disabilities should also be encouraged in such a sense that you should befriend people with disabilities. Second, educators need to ensure that felt and unfelt needs of students with disabilities in classrooms are met. So felt needs are basically those which are explicitly seen in on the face of it. You can clearly see, such as physical accessibility that can be solved. However, unfelt needs are those which are implicit in nature, which one cannot see on the face of it. Of a companion, a need of a friend in classrooms. So educators need to ensure that people with disabilities, their needs are met properly in the classrooms. Third, the language in the classrooms which is used should be inclusive and taboo free as much as possible. So as my colleague talked about earlier, euphemistic terminologies such as differently able, specially abled, people with disabilities, there are multiple terms which should be not used in the classrooms. A universally accepted term is a disabled person. Or for someone like us who uses wheelchair, we uses wheelchair user. That is accepted in the classrooms and public spaces. Fourth, we need to ensure that a healthy dialogue and discussion about people with disabilities happen in the classrooms. Educators need to ensure that the thoughts of people with disabilities, their opinions are voiced by them. We should not make assumptions about their needs, about their aspirations, about anything related to them. It's always better to ask them about what do they feel about their situation, because more often than not we usually we come up to conclusion, we come up to assumptions. And I think educators need to keep that in mind. Over to you, Arush.
Thank you, Alvia. I think I said this before, and I like to reiterate this, that inclusion is giving choices to students with disabilities. The same choices should be extended to them that are given to their peers. In that sense, it is important to not just think of accessibility in terms of only classrooms, in the four walls of the classrooms. We need to ensure that libraries, washrooms, cafeterias, computer labs, all of it is accessible to a student with disability. For number one, they should be able to independently access these areas. Number two, they should be able to accompany their peers in these areas, so that socialization happens beyond the classroom, so that socialization happens even beyond the school, you know so that is imperative, and it should be done for students with several different disabilities as well, further than locomotor impairments. Just that learning about disabilities from people who are disabled, for a community that prides itself in their motto of nothing about us without us, we need to learn about people with disabilities by having conversations, very open conversations with them, asking them what they really need. Okay, without maybe trying to surf the internet for that matter, of to understand their needs, because the internet is again created by man, and ableism was also created by man. So that will actually further perpetuate the taboo and the stereotypes that are there against people with disabilities. Lastly, and one of the most important factors is the fact that children with disabilities, with children who have different disabilities, actually have very different life experiences and backgrounds. And so a lot of students, including in my own personal experiences, I spent a lot of my childhood in and out of hospitals, right? Which means that my childhood was severely affected in terms of the fact that I had no peer socialization till a very later stage of life. Which means that I struggled to make friends, and I struggled to do that for a good few years. And so slight nudge from the teachers when the child is young to be able to make friends and to be able to encourage the child with disability and their non-disabled peers to actually make friends and socialize is going to go a long way in helping the child actually take over this socialization. And so with that, we come to the end of our presentation, and we thank you for your patience and help giving us a chance to have this dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arushi and Alvia. We are so glad to hear it from you. One of your point was that people with special needs or, a wheelchair user should say it himself or herself, what is their needs. We should not imagine and we should not think of, but it was nice hearing your experience. We are touched. We as educators are educators with a heart. No wonder we are members of this Rise Up for Peace Education Initiative.
Yeah.
All right. We've
Paranjit,
understood that
Paranjit,
you
ma'am.
had, yes.
No, no, sorry. Please go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Over to you, Samad. Please go
No,
ahead.
ma'am, please, no, please conclude. Please go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'm glad you shared your experiences wherever you felt you were not taken care of. We need to voice it out. We all have understood it. It has to be an open conversation. And I assure you on behalf of Team Rise Up for Peace that we understand, and it's a different perspective with which we're going to move out of this dialogue 6. Thank you very much for joining us. And now over to Samarth, please.
Yes, sorry, ma'am. So I just wanted to very quickly add how this came about, because a few weeks back I was at Jamia giving a presentation to students. They're all mass communication students and very impressive. And right next to me, I had a very nice girl who kept telling me that, I have some ideas, I need to talk to you. And that was Arushi. So I was really surprised by her confidence. On one side, you had students who were sort of shy and hesitant. But here was Arushi, who just came forward and said that I have some ideas and you better listen to me. So I sat with her, and that's how this conversation started going. And Alvia then came in, and Alvia, of course, is a very talented artist also. She's a very creative mind. So that's how this conversation got started, actually, with what terms should we use for people with disabilities. And I'm very ignorant. I told them point blank, because we are great friends. I told them that, for example, I never had classmates who had disabilities, so I didn't know how these conversations worked. We know kindness, we know empathy, but then this needs a lot of sensitization. So that's how this conversation started, and I thought that it will add a great value to the Rise Up for Peace ecosystem, the team that we have, to hear directly from these two very creative minds what we should be talking about when we talk about inclusion. So I hope you found this of interest and relevance. And thank you, Arushi and Alvia. Very, very impressive presentation and a lot of takeaways for us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. But don't leave till we finish today.
Yes,
We move on. We've already introduced Arushi, and maybe go to Alvia's slide first, and just we'll do this afterwards. Let's go to Alvia after this. Yeah. So very, very thankful to Alvia Haider. She's graduate from AJK Mass Communication Research Center, Jamia Millia Islamia, worked as a writer with feminism in India, Women's Web and India Times, worked as a volunteer in Viklang Shiksha, a project aimed at creating awareness about the needs of students with locomotor impairments amongst their peers, volunteering at UNODC RiseUp4Peace project. A pleasure. Thank you so much, dear Alvi and Arushi, for joining us. Thank you. Yes. So now we'll be sharing these activities the students have created. It was Flying Objects bookmark for SDG 16. There were 552, and photo stunt were 275, and all these have been put up in our virtual art gallery. So moving on to virtual art gallery. Please go ahead.
Greetings everyone. Welcome to the virtual art gallery of RiseUp4Peace Education Initiative Edition 3. We'll begin with activity 4, create flying objects bookmarks for SDG 16. Absolutely stunning work from the students of Bal Bharati Public School, BCM School Ludhiana and BD Memorial Junior School Kolkata, followed by Cambridge International School and Don Bosco School, Guwahati, Assam. Exceptional work by the students of Funlish Language School, Kolkata. Wonderful work by the students of IECASD Jaws Prudential Padilla, Colombia. Flawlessly presented work by the students of Indirapuram Public School, Indirapuram. Exceptional efforts by the students of Kamla Nehru Public School, Fagwada, Punjab, India. Thematic area for April 2024 is Innovative Teaching Methods for SDG 16. Vibrant bookmarks by the students of Salwan Junior School, Delhi. Incredible work by the Sarla Billa Gyan Jyoti Guwahati Assam students. Followed by SKST Patrick School, Malaysia. Absolutely stunning bookmarks by the students of Shri Sesash International School, followed by STS World School, Village Rajkumar. Flawlessly presented work by the students of Ved Vyas DAV Public School, New Delhi. Activity 5, Photo Stunt SDG 16. Absolutely stunning work from the students of Amritsar Public School, Bal Bharati Public School, Dwarka, Rohini, and Cambridge International School, Nipur. Vibrant work by the students of Funlish Language School, Kolkata, India. Absolutely stunning origami cranes by the students of Kamla Nehru Public School, Fagwada, Punjab, India. elegantly designed cranes by the students of Salvan Public School, Sri Venkateshwar School, Sarla Villa Gyanjyoti, and Sri Sitash International Public School. Wonderful cranes by the students of STS World School, Village Rajkumar. And vibrant cranes were made by the students of Ved Vyas Public School. Thank you, everyone.
Ma'am, we
So,
can't hear you.
yeah. Thank you so much, Nisha, for this wonderful art gallery which you have designed and put in lots of effort in recording and preparing. Thank you very, very much. We move on. This is activity 16, the real challenge. The next activity in which we had the real challenge for children. And so here we go. Just a minute, we could feature only those which were put up in the RiseUp4Peace Facebook page. There were many more, there were a larger number, but we picked up only those which were put up on the page because that was one of the conditions. Please put it up on the RiseUp4Peace Facebook page. So over to that now.
Hello everyone, this is Mannat from Kamla Nehru Public School, Class 8B, Punjab, India. So this above scene was of Napoleon War scene which caused immense suffering and deaths of common people. Listen up, there is no war that can end up all the wars. So we should live in peace and harmony and we should not fight. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I Gaganjit Kaur from Plus 2 Commerce B from Kamla Nehru Public School, Fagwara. I promote SDG 16. SDG 16 is a roadmap to the world of harmony. Rise up for peace echoes no more world war. Thank you.
Friends, I am Arman from Amsu Abbey School. I study in 7th standard. I promote Rise for Peace. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. Thank you.
I am Shuman from Kamla Nehru Public School, Fagwara, India. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved from understanding. There should be no world wars, but peace in the world. I support SDG 16. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Harmanpreet from Kamla Nehru Public School. Our topic is Rise Up for Peace, no more war in the world. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only achieved by understanding. Thank you. Thank you.
Greetings everyone. I, Gurbani from Plus 2 Commerce from Kamla Nehru Public School, Fagwara. Together, let's create a peaceful world. Rise Up for Peace support SDG 16, that is to end war and create strong institutions. Join our cause. Thank you.
So that was activity 2, the real challenge. Moving on. We had multilingual stories for peace. These were the structured activities which were shared in the month of April to be completed by May, and we're trying to showcase as many possible as such. So embracing stories for peace, embracing SDG 16 together. Total entries received were 63. We are focusing some of them. Please go ahead.
In a time of discord, a single light shone in a small village, Harmony's light. A man saw this light and said, "What's this light? It's warm and soothing." Harmony's light whispered of unity, of shared dreams and collective joy. And as the light embraced them, their hearts mended, their bonds strengthened. In just a moment, the light of peace outshone years of shadow. And the child said that peace begins with us. And so, the village found a treasure to cherish and protect forever. Thank you.
I want to share a story of love and peace through a short story, A Peaceful Pond. At the heart of a forest lay a tranquil pond where water mirrored the surrounding trees like a flawless canvas. Animals of all kinds came here to drink its crystal clear water, sharing space in perfect peace. Just like that, we should share all our things on this motherly planet Earth planet Earth with integrity. Thank you.
On a time, there was a kingdom where everyone lived happily and peacefully. The people from different backgrounds lived together in harmony. One day, the neighboring kingdom started a conflict with Kingdom King, but think follow the path of peace. He believed to invite the neighboring Kingdom King to solve conflict with each other. After discussion, they
Promoting human rights. Peace and justice are peace and justice are close to promote and protection from human rights. Thank you.
साल मेरे दोस्त से लड़ाई हो गई, लेकिन आज सुबह स्कूल असेंबली के अंदर हमें शांति का पाठ पढ़ाया गया। शांति का पाठ पढ़ के मेरे दिमाग में आया लड़ाई झगड़े में कुछ नहीं रखा है। फिर मैं अपने दोस्त के पास गया और उससे शांति से समझौता कर दिया। वो मैं बहुत खुश हुआ। इससे हमें पता चलता है कि हम सबको शांति से रहना चाहिए और लड़ाई झगड़े में कुछ भी नहीं रखा।
Today I am suggesting about SDG 16. SDG 16 aim to transform our world. They are a call to action to end poverty and inequality, protect the planet and ensure that all people stay health, justice and prosperity. Thank you.
So now we move on to a newsletter. This newsletter has been prepared by Thanu ma'am and Amandeep sir. Thank you so much, Thanu, in spite of all the challenges, you went ahead. And Amandeep for all the support. This is the third edition and it is of 352 pages. We move ahead. Let's see the newsletter of all the activities. This is the cover page. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that newsletter. We'll be sharing the PDF form. Please make sure it reaches every house of a child who has participated in this. This month, rather in the month of May only, we went for the first Rise Up for Peace Students Dialogue 1 on cyber safety. It was on 18/5/24. See, we have been talking in this. We thought, why not give a voice? They are putting their voices on Flipgrid and they're singing and they are putting everything over there. But presentation skills need to be developed. So keeping that in mind, we had three schools who joined up together. It was Little Angel School, Kuwait School, Kapurthala, STS World School, Jalandhar, and Kamla Nehru Public School, Phagwara. We did approach two more schools, but somehow the examinations were going on. So we're thinking of having it as a regular feature every month. Apart from this dialogue for all of us educators, why not have a dialogue for the students also? So the dialogue 1 is over. In the month of May, in the month of June, we'll be having a dialogue. In this case, schools who would like dialogue 2, proposed date is 8th June so that we can catch them at the beginning of the holidays. At the end, maybe they may not be in the mood. So all those schools who would like to join in, we'll have three students from each school. We'll share a topic. So the upcoming activities, it's all about mental health and wellness. So we'll pick up that particular topic and a school can have a group of three students with, 6 slides or something, and they can present that there's another school and another schools. So it will be all students place. They are going to present, they're going to talk, and in the end we just have to give a pat on the back on their back and the educators who have trained. So please volunteer. Let's give this opportunity to our children. This goes on till December as long as we are having it. Purely a student's initiative. All right. Thank you so much. Nisha is looking into it, and I'm sure you can approach Nisha, who's there, or message in the group. Whatever way you want, we can go ahead. Yes. Now coming to the activities of the upcoming in this month, we'll be meeting again in the month of June. Wonderful activities. My beloved educators, believe me, we put in a head and heart, everything into it so that it may be very, very interesting. And we also need to remember when children are working on peace and doing all this activity, somewhere in their heart, we stir a message of peace. And that is one small step to change the world. All right. So activity 1 is breathe peace, a family invitation to mindful wellness. So practice pranayam, so that the children can look into it. So it's all those deep breathing and then anlom vilom, the alternate nostril, deep breath. And what we have done is we have shared videos also in the PDF of the activities, which you already done it, and you can go through it and then you can see the demonstration, and children are expected to record a 30-second video by performing this. So they're welcome. We move on. So the next activity is activity number 2, and activity number 2 is Voices for Peaceful Minds. Remember, it is mind. It's all about wellness as such. So peaceful minds, voices of peaceful minds, expressing emotions. So this is from nursery to 12th class and university, whosoever wants to take part. So for keeping in mind the capacities, we have given them such small, sentence starters as such. So nursery, I feel happy with. So complete the sentence, and whatever they say, I love to play with my teddy or something like that. Accordingly, a video can be made. Then cultural compassion goes for 6 to 8, 9 to 12, and again a 30-second video, and that need to be recorded. And of course, it has to be uploaded on the Flipgrid. We move on to the next activity, and the next activity is activity 3. It is artistic affirmations for mental health advocacy. So these are some of the quotes, and we expect that the children are going to write these quotes on an A4 sheet, and they can decorate it. And for example, the smaller ones are be a buddy, not a bully, dream it, believe it, achieve it. These are the artistic affirmations. And then there are just 6 of them, but I believe we have put on quite a number, 10 to 15 of them are there, perhaps more than that. So it's okay to not know, but it's not okay to not try. It's like that. Let your dreams be bigger than your fears. So these are some of the things where they can go ahead. Activity 4 is create your own stress ball. Now, this is a very interesting activity where they expected to take a balloon and put rice in it. And then you squeeze the ball when you're feeling very tense. Anxiety is there. So even a video has been shared that this is the way you can prepare your stress ball. Okay. It's all about mental peace. Activity 5 is student-led mental health interview. So here we expect the children to, to meet their parents, grandparents, anybody elder, a doctor, a psychologist, whomsoever they can. And a small video can be recorded where they're interviewing to know how can I be at ease, how can I take care of my mental health, what precautions I should do. In India, we rather everywhere we respect our parents, and the grandparents can really guide the children how to take care of them, how to be mindful when it comes to peace. Yes. So activity number 6 now is all about mental health and peace. It's poster making. So this is using your colors, watercolors, sketch pen, whatever you want, oil paints, and they're supposed to make a poster, and the theme of the posters is also being given. We try to put in everything possible so that it becomes easy to mentor by the teachers also. So all instructions are given very, very clearly. So these are the topics. These are some of the topics. Remember, we give about at least minimum 10 to 15 topics so that a child can choose the topic of his or her liking. So that's about activity 6. And then activity 7 is Adobe Express. I believe AI posters are being loved by the children. And this time it's AI posters. Next time we'll move a step ahead when it comes to AI. So this time again, it is the same thing. So they go to Adobe Express and use and make AI posters. So it's young hearts and peaceful minds. So some of the topics which are being given, so they can just give this prompts, and then a poster would be ready by use of AI. So happy thoughts, my feeling, peaceful friends, sharing, caring are some of the topics. Again, 15 odd topics have been given. Moving on, it's activity number 8, peaceful places poster making. I remember when we all were young, we would make all the religious places quite a bit, but somehow, somewhere, this is lost somewhere. So we thought, why not design a poster showcasing a place of worship where you feel peace, whether it's a church, temple, gurdwara, mosque, or any place of worship. They can make that, and they can share it in the wakelet also. So peaceful places. So that would be the topic. Activity number 9, the next one, it's a newsletter cover design topic. So young people and mental health, impact of peace and the rule of law. Remember, my beloved educators, these are the topics which have been picked up from the concept note which has been shared initially. So this is the topic under which all our activities move around young people and mental health. Okay, so the front and the back, all the cover, all the designs, the details have been shared in the PDF as such. And RiseUp4Peace way forward. So monthly dialogue as we have it, spotlight guest also there. So youth focus interactive dialogue, SDG 16, the youth spotlights. We've started with that podcast. Our media partner is going to take charge. Roundtables, we have already done with the first one. I'm sure as we move ahead, we'll be doing it. So thank you so much, my beloved educators. This is a collaborative journey. And we're thankful to it. So call to action, spread the word. Let's see our family numbers now. So educators registered are 657. Student registered are 28,416 who are participating. Schools and universities registered are 234. And these are MS forms. So we have all this data right in hand with us, supporting our numbers. NGOs are 43 in number. Countries registered at 38. So hearts of hearts, thank you, Team RiseUp4Peace. Without you, we just can't walk any step further. You are the wonderful members who are guiding the students to build a peaceful world for their tomorrow, for their future, because that's a place where they're going to spend the rest of their lives. And for any information, you can always approach Mr. Samath Pathak. And of course, from KNPS, all of us are there. And believe us, we walk together, and walking together for a longer distance is what teams should do. And I'm sure we're all going to do it together. So thank you so much. With this, we have 7 minutes more to share our experience, to say what you feel like, to make suggestions. We can do this. This can be done better. So, and then the most important thing, I think, Samath, where are you? You have to tell us for the picture also now. And you're very good at telling us. Please do so.
Yes, I'm here. And, as I said, I'm just sitting anywhere. I'm getting a place right now because I'm in transit. But I cannot miss this. It was a fantastic conversation and great ideas on mental health. This is a very serious issue. And let's come up with unique activities as well. I mean, we have so many activities clearly listed. But if you feel there are any other things that we must do, please do share with us, and please feel free to, sort of take this up. We know very unique ideas are there. For instance, there were a couple of schools where I went to where the idea of a skit that could be recorded, or a short play that could be recorded around mental health themes, they could be very good practices which we could show also at other programs. So just a suggestion, just a thought. I know that the summer break is also going on, but something to keep in mind. But absolutely fantastic activities. One thing I've already shared in the group is that it takes a lot of effort. I come from the field of communication, and I know the key part there is to document all of this effort, ensure that all the material that is coming is given some shape and it is recorded somewhere. And for that, kudos to Team KNPS, Team Rise Up for Peace, Nisha ji, Charu ji, Amandeep ji, or everyone. I mean, all the entire team for taking this meticulous effort, keeping a track of whatever is coming on WhatsApp, on Facebook groups, on emails, on Flipgrid. It takes a lot of work. So thank you for that. And now we come to I would say, the second most important part of the meeting. The first part is, of course, the great conversations, hearing all of you. But now we come to the photograph. And I know that everybody is decked up today. We're all at home. We're all, sort of taking care. So we give you about 20 seconds to make your hair to look your best. And then in 10 seconds, 15 seconds, we are going to take a photograph. So I request everyone, as many of you, to switch on your cameras if you're comfortable. Just 1 second. All right. So photo number 1, we look at the camera with a huge smile. 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic. Now, usually they say that the third photograph is the best. So the second photograph, we all maybe do a thumbs up or a dove. You know the drill, what we do. Let's go with a thumbs up maybe this time. All right. So 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. And now the third photograph, we again, a huger smile, a bigger smile, and maybe another thumbs up or any other thing that you want to do. So this one is going to be the best one.
Maybe the dove.
Maybe the dove. Maybe the dove. Maybe the dove. All right. So 1, 2, 2.5, and final call 3. Excellent. Fantastic. So thank you very much once again, everyone, for taking out your time. And we are here. We want to hear from you now.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ayappa, you're traveling somewhere. You're still in a vehicle.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Paramjit ma'am and Samath sir. Really, I have to thank both of you. Being a mental health professional, you have taken the activities for next time. So thank you so much. Looking forward to hear from around the world. Let's see. Thank you so much all. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So it's an open forum now. Anybody can speak. Please go ahead. Who's next one? Swati, why don't you take over now?
Good evening,
Unmute
ma'am.
yourself. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, everyone over here. And Samarth sir, can't really thank you enough for going on encouraging us to think and explore new ideas. And once again, like there is something that we are trying. The two wonderful youth speakers that we heard today, probably Funlish is also going to all the children in Funlish, as well as I would invite any other student who may have missed this session can join us on the 29th of this month to hear these wonderful speakers yet again. We can have a short Q&A also that day. If students have questions, to ask Arushi and Alvia, it was so wonderful hearing y'all. Maybe now it's time that students ask y'all certain questions they may have, so we can have a short session. And it would be wonderful if teachers, students from everywhere can join us. We'll very soon share the link. We can have a short session, and we also plan to share one podcast that the Funlish Peace Brigade has prepared. Now, I myself am yet to hear that they plan to release it on that day in the presence of Samarth sir and Paramjit ma'am. So I just wanted to declare it today that if you can really keep yourselves free from say 4:30 to 5:30 for about an hour or maybe 40 minutes also, we can have a quick and nice session. So just this is an open invitation to everyone. We'll very soon share the link. So I'm just looking forward to having another it'll be in the month end 29th May. It's holiday time. Hopefully around that time everyone can join us. We would really love it to have you all and hear the wonderful speakers again.
Fantastic idea. And Swatiji, I mean, yours is a digital academy and it is a very important part of this. And Arushi and we are always, open to take the difficult questions. So not just on social themes, but I would suggest even chemistry and maths would do.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So yes, we do definitely look forward to this session and interacting with students, taking the conversation where it needs to be at the end of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We really look forward.
So Veronica, would you like to say something, please? You have been all the while one of the first ones to join.
I'm thinking of all the possibilities of activities. Today I have a meeting at school and I'm going to take these suggested activities to share with the other teachers. The head of my school is particularly into mindfulness and organizing activities related with mental health. So hopefully is going to be on board and organize a series of activities that we can do in order to improve our students and also families' mental health. So I'm really excited for that. And apart from that, I'm thinking of other possibilities. I would really like to have a session with my students. I would like my students to have some sort of training. We just need to adjust for the difference in the time zone. There's a 9-hour difference, but I would really like to have a session with you maybe before our winter break. We have a winter break in July because our school year goes from March to December. So we can start organizing something.
Sure. We can definitely go ahead. And then who would like to speak now? Guljot, would you like to add something, please?
Sure, ma'am. A very good evening to all of you who are present here. It was indeed a wonderful session, especially by Arushi and Avya. It was amazing to hear from both of you. Definitely waiting, Swati ma'am, to join you again on 29th with my students. It it'll be a pleasure to listen to these girls again with a live Q&A of the students. Yes, definitely they would learn a lot from you. And thank you so much, sir, for motivating us all with the coverage and keep the spirit up. You just tell us, yes, this is watching you, and here at the background, somebody else is there. So that keeps us going. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Gurjot, ma'am. Thank you, Gurjot ma'am. One thing I would also like to add, I've just posted it in the group. I always say this at every session that we remain very open at UNODC to conduct sessions, to work with educators, but also with young people. And we have amazing talents like Arushi, Alvia, experts otherwise. And especially if we are in Delhi, we are neighbors, we should be doing something a lot more. So we do look
Definitely
forward to
looking
explore
forward to it.
yeah,
But, sir, I
those
was just
options
waiting
as well.
for a signal from Paramjeet ma'am, and today that I've got it, I'm going to work on it.
I was telling her that you are in Delhi. Why don't you connect with Samarth and have a session for your teachers? So that's how.
So it was only your signal that I was waiting for, ma'am. Thought that we'll meet together. But now that you're saying, I'll work it out in the first week of July, most probably, as early as possible.
That's great.
Thank you, sir.
So Sandra, would you like to say something, please? We're trying all the while to connect with you online, but somehow something or the other, and then not able to do so.
It's okay. We are patient, and peace takes time for peace. But I'm just so grateful to be part of this community. I look forward to this meeting every month, and it just gives me hope and so much love in my heart. And I love you all, and I'm just so glad to be here with everybody.
Thank you. Ranjana, would you like to say something, please? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Ranjana. Unmute yourself and then say something if you want. Chalo, she's taking time. So, Arushi and Alvia, would you like to say something, how this family goes on and what we are doing? What's your impression about this?
I'm of the firm opinion that the next generation, the upcoming generation of kids, is going to be the torchbearers of all sorts of inclusion, of all sorts of peace, humanity, and inclusivity. And that's also the reason why we want to talk to students about this, because for them to be able to get that sensitization, that understanding of how you deal with disabilities, and of course a lot of other diversity, because diversity, again, as somebody was also mentioning in the chat, diversity is a fact and inclusion is a it's an action. So that action needs to be taken, that conversation needs to be had, and I'm glad that even EDC is and Rise Up for Peace is able to engage young students, very young children, in these activities, because now that education has begun, it is going to bear fruit in their futures as they become, vital peace bearers, and also hopefully inclusionists in their futures.
Alvia, over to you.
I agree with Arushi. I feel that if we have to bring a change in the society, we have to start with the younger generation, because these impressionable minds, they have the power to change the world tomorrow. And I think once we start a dialogue with them about inclusivity, about diversity, I think that will be like incremental in bringing a change in the society. So I think I'm also very grateful for UNODC to bring up this conversation in the society, and I hope that we all can bring a change together.
Alvia, can you take a minute, maybe, or 30 seconds to also talk about the power of comics that you work on? I'm sure that will fascinate a lot of people. How do comics bring change?
Yeah, so I and Arushi are also working on comics, which will talk about creating social change in the society. It will also raise awareness about inclusivity, about the discrimination which happens in classroom through fun ways. So I and Arushi were talking about how can we interact with students and basically not bore them, because students have a very limited attention span these days. So we wanted to create something which will also create interest in their minds about these topics, and not also and basically allow them to interact about these topics in the longer run. And for that, we are making comics, and hopefully we will share them with you all soon.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much. Now I see quite a number of young boys and girls. Any student want to speak something? Please go ahead, unmute yourself and speak. Mayuk is there. Sutiltha is there. Anybody wants to say? Please go ahead.
Sutitha, would you want to speak? You can if you want.
Okay. So with no more speakers, Ranjana, would you like to say something? Can you unmute yourself again? Chalo, it's all right. Anybody in the audience who want to say something, please go ahead. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. And that will be all for today then.
Good evening, ma'am. Nirmala here.
Oh,
nice to
yes.
meet you, ma'am, Mr. Samar, Swati ma'am, Charu ma'am, and everyone here. So happy to meet all of you again. So this month had been a hectic month for me because we had a sports day. So that's why I had to rush with our project. However, my students really enjoyed. As ma'am said, students are freedom. They have the freedom to choose whatever activities they want. Thank you so much for understanding educators around the globe. So my students really enjoyed, making the paper aeroplanes, and they had fun in the class. So I took some videos and all that. So probably I'll share on social
Yes.
media pages, and then I'll tag ma'am and Mr. Samat as well. So thank you so much, ma'am. So this month we were only able to take part in Minecraft and making of the flying object. So looking forward for collaboration with Mr. Samat. I will private message you regarding our collaboration. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, Nirmala is from Malaysia, and thank you so much, Nirmala, for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. God bless you. Anybody else? So let me see who's there. If anybody else would like to say something, I'm just looking into the list of people who are there. Anybody is welcome, please. So we have Sukleen Kaur. Anybody, Sukleen?